Referees have been caught lying about Arsenal again. How many times have I said this season that referees have just got decisions wrong and all of that stuff? So in today's video, I'm just going to do something simple. I'm going to play the clip, what the referee was saying about that situation. Then I'm going to show you how they reacted to a similar incident, and the results are quite shocking. But before I begin, goodness, if you are new here, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button too. It'll be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Initially shown a yellow card by Rob Jones after bringing down Ivan Nilsson. VAR check, Jared Gillett sent him to the screen. It was then upgraded to a red. Right, so inevitably Arsenal fans will be saying, what on earth is the difference? How come we have a player sent off at Bournemouth and Chelsea remain with 11 at Anfield?
I think it's a different situation. The ball, it's a foot race again. The ball's going over his head, but it's going down the middle, so it's not going towards goal. Ben White is a long, long way from Evan Nilsson, so Evan Nilsson, for me, is always favourite to get that ball. And another thing that played a factor was the fact that Raya actually backed off. So Raya's start position actually become harder for him to get the ball because he...
Okay, let's just take that in. He says, it's a foot race. Ben White isn't going to get there. Raya moves backwards. The last man is Saliba. Okay, great. Well, the consistency just isn't there, because I'm going to show you now a screenshot from the Chelsea-Liverpool game. Look at where the ball is. The same sort of scenario. There's no way you can gauge that Levi Colwill is going to get back and help Tosin. It's quite ridiculous. And that's not even it. We go even further now to Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Look at where Van de Ven is here. Look at Sarr. Where is the next covering player? It's an absolute joke. I don't get that sort of a logic. They're saying Arsenal fans are overreacting, but when you look at these two scenarios, Van de Ven, and then you also looking at the Tosin incident, you can't help but think there's an agenda, because no other club has this situation whereby we have been proved right within two incidents after R1 happened. If you're going to give a red card to Saliba, the fair thing to do, the thing that the Premier League should have done, is give the other players a red card, because they're similar incidences. You can't really gauge that, the Chelsea player is going to get back, the Spurs players are going to get back. I think the most ridiculous one is the fact that the Spurs players were nowhere near Van de Ven. That one, for me, is a clear red card. I cannot believe that one. Even a more clear red card than Saliba one. That is how in disbelief I am. I think what's also ridiculous is, look, they are comparing the speeds of the players. No other club has this situation where pundits, referees, Dermot Gallagher was a former referee, they're actually getting speeds of players to prove their points. It's actually insane. I can't believe the lengths that people go to disprove Arsenal's points, to disprove, that Arsenal, should have been given that decision or shouldn't have been given that decision. There goes so many different explanations. People go to different lengths to just prove themselves right that Arsenal weren't done wrong. And I feel like that's a massive, massive problem. The Premier League is about being fair. And let's be honest, the pundits, the referees, the Sky Sports, all of these people are so important to fans. What information they give up, we are consumers. We consume their information, and we're just consuming information which is just ridiculous. Why are you doing this? This sort of level of detail, just because it's Arsenal, is just so shocking to me. And I don't see Van de Ven this being done. I don't see Tosin this being done when he did it with Chelsea. It's an absolute joke. So here is the one about Tottenham. We're going to have a little listen now and see what the referees or, Sky Sports ended up saying with this.
Hurst Park then, and an incident which brought back memories of last week, and a couple of big calls involving William Saliba in the game at the Vitality, and also involving Tosin in the game at Anfield. This time it's Mickey Van de Ven on Ismaila Sarr. Yellow card, why not a red?
They were of the belief that he's wide, he's too far from goal, and he's going away from goal. He's not going direct towards goal. So that was their justification.
Are you of that belief?
Again, I think that's one referee's call. If a referee, he's got a better view than me. He's got the feel of it. He thinks he's going away. There's no doubt he is moving away from.
Wait a minute. So, this is what I mean with the referees. Dermot Gallagher says this is the referee's view. He sees it better than me. So why now, when it's this contentious decision where it's Spurs, where it's not Arsenal, is it now down to the referee and what he's seen? Why couldn't you have said that in the Arsenal game? Why now are we using this sort of thing of him being too far away from goal? Even Nilsson was so far away from goal. There's no guarantee he even has the skill to dribble that far with the ball. Things are in the air. What is going to stop Ivan Nilsson from falling over his own feet? Like, nothing can really gauge that he's going to go directly towards goal. He might dribble to the corner flag. If we're going to use this logic that he was too far away from goal, we can use this same logic and say, well, even Nielsen was going to run to the corner flag then. This is what I mean with pundits, referees, everyone. Everyone is just so confused with the rules because it's double standards. There's not even a covering defender here. And, you know, just look at the way they're scrambling to support the referees, saying, you know, this decision was fair. This all the referee, what he's seen is too far away from goal. So what can we do about it? It is quite crazy sometimes. I'm beside myself when I listen to these things and I just look and compare it to when it's Arsenal. Now let's move on to the Liverpool game, where I feel like there was quite a few incidents which the referee got wrong. So yeah, let's look at them. Okay, let's have a listen to what he says about that Van Dijk incident with Kai Havertz.
Early on in the game up against Kai Havertz, and has a couple of little nibbles.
Petulant, but VAR can't recommend a red card for that because it's certainly not violent conduct, it's not serious foul play. Petulant, but if the referee says that he may yellow card him, but he won't red card him.
And this is an interesting...
So we can now just kick out at players when the ball isn't in the vicinity of the player being kicked. That's really, really surprising stuff. Van Dijk, there was no reason for him to do that. Maybe I'm being harsh and maybe it is a yellow. But again, you can't just allow this to happen. How many times in the Premier League this season have we seen these sort of decisions actually go towards reds? You know, it's just this consistency. If we're going to keep up with this idea of small violent conducts being, you know, given as yellow cards, then keep it up consistently. If we're going to think it's red cards, let's keep it consistently. But that's not what's happening in the Premier League. And it's very disappointing that all of these incidents are always involving Arsenal. Even the balls being kicked away. Diaz did it in the Arsenal game. He didn't get a booking. It's just, we just want consistency. That's all we ask for from the referees. Now let's look at the reaction to the Havertz, Jesus, that goal incident where Kivior allegedly fouled Szoboszlai.
I thought it was a 50-50. Some people would say it was. I think it was the fact that Szoboszlai didn't jump. So it
sort of turns his back and doesn't fancy it at all, does he?
So it actually looks more of a foul. I think if they'd have both challenged for the ball, it probably would have just been play on. So I actually didn't think that was a foul. But why did he delay the whistle, Dermot?
Maybe he's just run it through his mind, but that's the foul he gave. He didn't give the...
Running through his mind. You know, the sort of words being used here to kind of help the referees in his decision is crazy. You cannot, as a referee, have something running through your mind and then decide, okay, I'm going to let this carry on before it comes to a conclusion. I just think that is really, really poor refereeing. If you're going to hold your decision, you've got to hold it for the duration of that action. And the referee didn't. And it's crazy to see here Dermot actually supporting the referee.
By Havertz, he did give that foul.
A foul by Kivior. Yeah. Do you think that's a foul then?
I think it's one that if the referee gives it, he gives it. If he doesn't give it, there's 50-50 decisions that can go either way in games, and I think that's one of them.
The only thing with that one is how
50-50 decisions. I mean, you guys watching, you can make your own conclusions from what is being said on Ref Watch here, but I feel like there is this sort of reluctancy to support Arsenal with the decisions from Dermot. He's always saying 50-50, it could be, it should be. And when it's other teams, you know, he's almost supporting the referee as in, you know, okay, this one's separate from the Arsenal incident with the Van der Ven and Tosin thing. And you can't do that, especially as somebody who has a massive platform here on Sky Sports. We are taking in this content and seeing this. I think it is really, really annoying. But anyway, gunners, that's it for now. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the referee situation. Are we being ref differently? I think there's definitely something like that going on.